I gotta see you do the thing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to enCRYPTID. Cal, how's it going?
I am back, guys. Hello.
How was your?
Yep.
How's Justice League? Oh wait, we have a video for that.
Yes, you got to go check that out. It was fun. I had a good time. I did miss the show. I enjoyed all the little technical hiccups that were so hilarious. The intro was the best part, in my opinion. Because I love, as you know, if you watch any of the Odd Shape shows, I am always the one to comment about. I love the voiceovers that Tom does, and I love those kind of things. So,
yeah, and thank you again to our new co-host Justin for helping me last week.
Yeah, I mean we had some gremlins to fend off, but I think it worked.
Yes, that's what we were. I forgot what we even did. But real quick in the chat, hello to Jennifer and Pablo. Angelo, damn it, sorry. Tom Zambino, Morgan, Randall. I thought I saw Billy earlier. Thanks everybody for watching.
Hey TJ.
What are we discussing tonight?
Justin, you want to care to do the honors?
Sure. So tonight what we have for you is I want to say the most secretive base in the United States, but it's probably one of the most secretive bases in the world. We are talking on Area 51, also known as Groom Lake or Paradise Ranch, in wonderfully sunny, awfully hot, and very bleak Nevada.
Nice. And I know we have some great artwork to show off this week, but first, do we have some birthdays?
Yes, we do have some birthdays and other celebrations. So for our birthdays, I want to wish my best friend from childhood, Nick. It's his birthday today, actually. So happy birthday, Nick. And then on Friday is my friend Nicole's birthday. And then Saturday is my friend Megan's birthday, who just recently announced she's pregnant. So congratulations. Congrats. And happy birthday to all of you. So have a legendary birthday. Also, we have a very special occasion coming up. I think one of our co-hosts, Tom, he recently got engaged to Kimber, but they are celebrating their 4-year anniversary tomorrow. So congratulations on your 4-year anniversary.
Woo! Yay, I did it.
Have a legendary anniversary. I just imagine that's an anniversary, not birthday.
I'm so surprised. I didn't. No, he told me he was going to do. Yeah. Did we have anything from Janine this week?
Yes. So thanks to Janine at Janine DeBean at G9 Designs as well for her cryptic creations she submits every week to us. Here's her interpretation of Area 51.
Nice.
So pretty well done. I enjoy it. I always enjoy all of her stuff. She's actually doing a sale right now too in her store, so please check it out. She's got a really cool designs for like Riverdale and the like women superheroes or supervillains, if you want to consider them, how you look at them, it's your perspective. Check those out. So she's got a sale going on now too, and all this will be available in her store as well. So if you really like the cryptic creations, you can buy them as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
She does a lot of our friends and our own logo work, so definitely go and support her stuff. All right, let's get into this mystery.
All right, so we always have to start out with our segment that we tour the lore.
The lore. And I think Justin, you're gonna handle that. You're always the lore master, the lore librarian.
Oh, Area 51 is a mess of everybody has different and competing theories of what happens there, and we have no way of knowing which are accurate. So we'll start out with what Area 51 started as, and that would have been the I've got my notes here. Indian Springs Air Force Auxiliary Field. So during World War II, Indian Springs Air Force Auxiliary Field served as a long runway training strip, so for bombers and large aircraft. It was located in Groom Lake, a dry lake basin just north of the Nevada test range. So post-war, the Nevada test range would be where all of our nuclear detonations were, something like 253, I believe, of all of our most potent weapons. It's known as Area 51 simply because that was the easiest way to allow people working at the test range to know which areas to avoid during the days. So people like to say, you know, maybe there's an Area 53 or 4 or 5. It's like, well, there are. They're not secret bases. It's also known as Groom Lake and Paradise Ranch. Paradise Ranch was how it was initially sold to servicemen trying to get people to take duty at that field. And throughout the 50s and 60s, it was used primarily, at least as far as we're told, by Lockheed Martin and various other air development groups for testing of aircraft that may or may not have otherworldly origins. Going forward from that, it's been kind of the go-to site of just about anything strange that flies. So post Roswell, it's been theorized that some of the bodies which may or may not have been recovered at that particular crash made their way to Area 51. We definitely know, similar to what you may be seeing here soon, that there have been many strange occurrences. In the way of what we know about the base, satellite imagery would show us a exceedingly long runway, longer than just about any other place on the globe, that lights up occasionally at night for 15-minute stretches and then goes dark 4 weeks at a time. Kind of trailing down on the lore of the place itself. It's definitely strange. I had actually occurrence to drive by there not long ago. I think it was last year, about a month back last year, so 13 months ago. Certainly a strange portion of the desert. I have more notes. Good.
The next image I'm bringing up right here with this. I think you took this, right? This one.
I did not take this one. If you've been following me on Instagram or Twitter, the one thing I forgot to do prior to the show was link Cal the photos I personally took, but this was taken nearby. It's a large unknown object on the back of a flatbed that kind of looks vaguely saucer-like. However, we really don't know what that is.
I think. Go ahead.
I think the biggest thing to say is that for sure there are definitely UFOs on Area 51. They're definitely testing stuff there, and this may be one of those vehicles. That's not to say that they are definitely alien in nature, just because we don't know what they are.
Can I say something about this image first? So, like, I saw on another show where, the show that was it on like Discovery or whatever it was, that they had this in Russia, very similar photo like this. It had like a military escort, and they had a flatbed truck with an image that of something on the back like that. And they were saying that they are this has actually been debunked. They're actually the lids to like hazardous waste containers, like large hazardous waste containers, and that's why they need a military escort. But people thought they were like saucers, but here it looks more like a saucer. It does definitely look like it, but there are containers that are apparently relatively large that have that shape, and they need a military escort because they're like, have all these like environmental issues with them, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later too when we talk about other stuff.
Although I will say, if you're designing a container, why would you make it that hard to move?
Well, I mean, Nevada is flat and empty, so it's a strange shape on the back. We do know that when it comes to test aircraft, this was also the birthplace of the U-2 and SR-71. So our most prominent spy planes, formerly known as, I believe, Have Blue, was the F-117 Nighthawk fighter, and other stealth aircraft have been developed there. That much we do know from various released documents in the last 10 or so years. So strange things in the sky, absolutely. Like you were saying, there are certainly UFOs there, and their origin is questionable at best.
Hey, Smug.
I have to. See? Yeah, it's gonna derail us for like 2 seconds there. Look at that thing. It's awesome.
Nice.
So what do you guys know about Area 51? Just off the top of your heads.
Oh, well, I did some research earlier, so I don't know if you want me to go into that right now or
Yeah.
not. So it was a highly
Bandwagon?
a highly classified detachment of Edwards Air Force Base. Like you said, it was named Groom. That's also named Groom Lake, but I also got the name Homey Airport, as well as other names that you said, Paradise Ranch and also Dreamland.
Yes.
The Area 51 term actually came from a CIA document during the Vietnam War. And like you said, it has various advanced aircraft testing that occurs on that base. But the government provides minimal info about it. Much of the info about Area 51 is redacted in any reports they do release. So they'll talk about the actual base, but they won't talk about the actual specific Area 51 because that information is redacted. And then there was a huge environmental lawsuit against the government as well as Area 51 in Nevada due to large quantities of unknown chemicals being burned in pits there. So they could have had like these giant vats that they were burning the chemicals, and that's what they needed that lid that I was talking about earlier for.
That would make a lot of sense.
And it has various numerous appearances in pop culture, which we'll get to later. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for research for that.
How about you, Tom?
I mean, I knew as much about it as like urban legends go. You know, I didn't know the details of like years and where the name came from and everything like that. But I think I know more about like how the town Roswell just took it full advantage of like one. Because I mean, the first thing that happened was the Roswell crash, where it was the whole weather balloon, or was it? And they had pictures of the metal and everything. I don't know if you know any more information about that, but Roswell took full advantage of that and became like a sideshow town.
Absolutely.
Which actually, in the chat, Tom Zambino brings up a really, really good point that about when I talk about the environmental thing, he said they could be testing experimental fuels. So that's pretty interesting to say. Like, you know, who knows what nature that fuel is and all that. So that's pretty cool. I never even thought of it that way.
Well, like some of the NASA fuels, some of the space shuttle fuels especially, are extremely hazardous. So it would make sense to need that much open space around you if anything happened. I think there are a few of them, like hydrazine, that might be a drug. There's one of them that if you even touch it, if you get it on your skin, it can be lethal. So I could firmly believe that as a point of testing those things. From my own research, Area 51 seems to have really crept into the public eye around 94, 95, with maybe a little earlier with Art Bell's radio show, Coast to Coast AM. There was one man in particular who kind of made it more known to people who weren't into mysteries quite a bit, who appeared on Art Bell's show, named Bob Lazar. And Mr. Lazar is a questionable character in and of his own right. However, his primary claim was that he had worked on a site next to Area 51 called S4. And at S4, not only were there aliens, but they had worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft and anti-gravity technologies. So this is where a lot of the birthplace of the mythos around Area 51 comes from, is Mr. Lazar and his friend, I believe John, some aircraft's last name. I will try and figure it out here in a few minutes. However, these two especially were big into looking for UFOs, looking for alien life. Mr. Lazar claimed to have worked formerly at the yes, brain farts are my thing. Go me. Los Alamos. There we go. I got to just power through it. Los Alamos itself has kind of a weird history in our nation's glorious secret projects for being part of the Manhattan Project. And supposedly has its own alien facility called YY2. Just in some of the other research I've done. I did want to mention before we got too far into the show that technical difficulties tend to arise when you talk about Area 51, as Art Bell himself was taken off the air for about 15 minutes as a satellite that he was using to broadcast with was messed with in some way. during a call-in show he had for Area 51 employees to kind of divulge their secrets. He got one caller in particular that was quite animated, and then probably about 10 seconds into the real talk, whole thing went down.
I think I've heard the call.
It's spooky. I mean, the guy, if we can play it later, I don't know about that, but if you want to look for a link and look it up, it's definitely somebody who is afraid of something calling someone else. It's impressive.
For sure. Anything else you wanted to add about the lore, Cal?
No, that's pretty much all I had for it.
Yeah, I'm about the same. That's why Justin's the lore master.
I spent the better part of 2 weeks listening to everything I could and digging everywhere I could. I went down some very strange rabbit holes and nearly bought an entire roll of tinfoil to use on my own hat.
You know, I was going to say that we don't really have to worry about Area 51 messing up our transmission, because we have another word that messes up our transmission here on Odd Shape Channel. So, but we don't mention that word. But it's a 4-letter word.
As long as no one says Tron, we're fine.
Oh, no. There it goes.
I was going to say Comcast, but sure.
Troncast.
So should we move on to our next segment of
Yeah.
Believe It or Not, or Who Knows? So here goes.
All right. And we are no way affiliated with Ripley's, but this is our real footage segment. Whether it's believable or not, who knows?
Here we go. First video coming up.
All right, so this is the first 2 minutes of the alien autopsy condensed. I only went the first 2 minutes because it does get graphic, and if you're squeamish, you may not want to watch it. They like dissect the eyeballs and stuff like that. I mean, this is classic. This is like one of the first real footage videos I can remember besides the Sasquatch one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and it's also one of the first hits you get on real alien. You start looking into that.
So what do you guys think? You think this is believable, or you think it's just like a hoax?
Well, here's the thing. I've seen prosthetic people talk about this video, like people like who worked on movies, and the amount of effort put into this prop, if that's what this thing is insane. Like, the skin is removable, there are interior organs, the anatomy holds up. So they think they would have problems trying to reimagining it.
So what is the original source of the video, though?
I don't remember.
I actually had that, I think. I don't have my notebook handy.
It's supposed to be from Area 51, but I think it leaked to the news or something like that, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Because I think it was a big special, like an NBC, like, we're gonna go into the autopsy video that has just been leaked or something.
So people in the chat are saying it's fake. A lot of people in the chat are saying fake. I say who knows. I wouldn't want to say it's real yet, but I think it's who knows for me. But if you're saying that, like, yeah, maybe all that stuff is real, like the anatomy and all that hell's up, and who goes to the effort, that could be true, you know?
Yeah, Tom's asking what anatomy holds up. What's the reference point? I mean, just the layout of like skin and organs and bones and stuff like that, like, and tissue. It holds up, like, comparing it to us, at least. Like, we have skin, then tissue, then muscle, then bone.
I'm always on the fence. I'm never quite. I'm not convinced enough to say yes, it's real. But like Tom was mentioning, the level of detail in the video itself, in the object that's being interacted with, if it's a prosthetic, if it's a cadaver, what have you, is fairly intense. So I'm going to go ahead and say maybe. I'm going to affirm maybe.
Maybe also.
Yeah,
the higher end of maybe.
This for me is kind of like in that legendary tier of like sightings videos. So it's always going to be a maybe for me, just because it has that like maybe nostalgia attached to it.
Remember, we watched a documentary about the making of that video, and they had some really interesting points because they had very serious special effects artists looking at the video, and they were blown away with how you would even possibly do that.
Right.
And hearing them talk about that added more validity to the argument than anything else I've ever heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what year was this video? They probably didn't have the technology that we have now with like prosthetics and all that kind of stuff. So if you think about it, that's another factor you can add into it to add to its validity. Yeah, so Tom Zambino asked the same thing. What year was this video? Hey, Delisha, how are you?
I think it was the 90s, if I was correct, because I remember it coming out when I was a kid.
Okay, so maybe, I mean, I guess then technology is a little bit more advanced, and compared to when we compared to like the Bigfoot video that we saw with
It's supposed to be footage. It's supposed to be footage from the Roswell sites, the Roswell crash. So that would have been 60s.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Mm-hmm.
A quick Google search has me with it was released in '95 by a man named Ray Santilli. He released it under the purported. It was supposedly authentic to a 1947 crash of a flying disc near Roswell. In 2006, he said it was not authentic, but he never specified how he made it or where he filmed it. So it's kind of like the Patterson-Gimlin footage from the Bigfoot topic, in that they came out on their deathbeds and said it's fake, but maintained it had been real for quite a while ahead of time, like before they died. So kind of maybe a last-ditch attempt at regaining credibility in someone's eyes, perhaps. I'm uncertain, but the initial release was 1995.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, on to the next video.
This guy is just camping outside of Roswell. He sees this. Apparently, this light has been showing up for the past like week. So he showed up, and it showed up on Q. And I sped this up substantially, so it took a while to go up. And then, see, I thought maybe it was possibly put in after the fact, but the way that the camera tries to focus on it kind of has me thinking that it's something.
Right.
And
so the camera pulls focus. That's pretty interesting to see. The camera, but that's I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely some focus issues with that light source. I'm guessing this was probably shot from Tikaboo Peak, or Tikaboo, which is about 21 miles south of Area 51.
Yeah, because the mountains would block if it was from the north, right?
Yeah, the other side of those mountains is where I drove past. Unless I'm just completely wrong in orientation. I think that's real in that it's a real unidentified object.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like the fact that the camera has trouble focusing on it, especially over a distance that large. Direction of travel might account for some of the kind of the length of time it takes for the object to rise. If it's coming at you, it might appear to take longer to rise if it's doing it on a large glide slope. So, I mean, if it's taking off from a runway, but it's doing it slowly, I could see that being a thing.
it also looks big.
It does.
So it might. I would assume a smaller object may that looks like the size of one of those little buildings there. If I'm judging the buildings correctly.
And those buildings are fairly sizable hangars. So it kind of looks like the light's bouncing off the mountains in the back, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of watching a small screen of it because I'm afraid to mess with my stuff here. Yeah. It looks to me like it's putting off some light into the background there. So
Tom does make a good point. If you want to play it again, it only moves when the camera moves. Now, is he following it very well, or is that some kind of tell? Because
let me kind of watch it one more time.
It's stable here, but once it lifts off and it gets ready to shoot off, now it goes a lot. This is sped up, so he was genuinely trying to follow it. I would suggest trying to find the original video. but it does look a little like he has a flashlight on the end of his thing and he's moving it. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
he's tracking it
too. I can see that as well.
That
The way it goes out.
Yeah, it could be like a strobe flashlight.
It could be. Again, I still say it's unidentified. So it is that.
And that's all we were asking. So,
yeah.
I'm kind of out on it now. I think it's a flashlight. Damn it.
Well, we don't know. It's not identified. So I'm going to say it is a unidentified object.
It sounds like what we need to do is kind of like GoFundMe a road trip.
All right, going to the third video.
In the middle. All right, so this is a supposedly leaked footage from 2017. Well, it leaked in 2017, and this is apparently an interview. This looks almost rendered too well, kind of like that uncanny valley feel, but at the same time, isn't that how we would feel about it?
The way it blinks weirds me out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a weird choice if you were to fake it.
I don't know, I feel like
I think this is the least likely out of all of them.
yeah, I feel
but
it's like faked. It's like a puppet or something.
I could definitely see it being a puppet.
Just the way it's moving makes me feel like it's a puppet.
A puppet with animated eyes.
oh, and it's like pull.
Animating it a
It's
little bit.
obviously heavily filtered.
It
You
would
could-
look better if they just used a puppet with servos in its eyes. To be
That's what I was
honest.
gonna say.
The rest of the head doesn't move when it kind of raises its eyebrow, as it were. Like there's no crinkling, going on. It's just when it blinks, there's kind of a forward motion and it closes.
I mean, to play devil's
just
advocate,
Stretches a bit.
we don't know how their bodies would work compared to ours.
No, I agree with you there.
Yeah, so just to say, not to say I think that's a good enough reason to make this real. Who knows is more of the thing, but I think this one's fake.
Yeah, I agree.
The fact that the timestamp is messed with, and like it's obviously they're trying to present it as.
I'm agreeing too. I timestamp wouldn't really make sense to me in that particular version. I don't necessarily know of any camera of the day, and that looks like it's supposed to be older footage, like Super 8 or Super 16.
That would have a timestamp, right?
Yeah, that would be something you would add, and it would be
90s VHS started having timestamps.
yeah.
Tom Zambito in the chat says that he's not sure if Justin mentioned it, but the lead engineer of Lockheed, the U2 project, was the one that gave the name Paradise Ranch to Area 51.
Yeah. He also brought the Have Blue and other wonderful projects. OP-4 fighter jets, so opposition forces fighter jets, were also tested in this area. I think the funniest thing I found was they were called Have Donut. It's a good code name. Have Donut, Have Bagel. They were Russian fighter planes. It was great.
I would have never put them together. Like, oh, bagel, fighter plane.
Donut? Yeah, it's that thing.
Should we go
Do
into
not talk about our secrets.
yeah?
Secret donut.
You want to go into the feature creature now?
Featured
I think that was
creature.
our last. So here's our feature creature. Where have you seen? This is not really a creature, but where have you heard about Area 51 in pop culture?
I mean, it's definitely a mainstay in American pop culture for sure. Like,
So Tom, if you want to kick us off?
yeah. TJ Dex gave us a bunch of examples. He said E.T. Well, he was talking about the guys from E.T. We should do a Men in Black episode separately because that's bigger than Area 51, I believe.
I have some
But,
awesome
he's-
stuff that I found on that.
But he's on the McPherson tapes, Independence Day, and X-Files. The X-Files episode actually was called Dreamland. So that was cool.
All right, Justin, the second.
Here we've got I can't read this.
I already know what this is from, but it's Eric Monroe.
Yeah, he didn't.
Eric
He didn't.
Monroe.
He didn't name the movie. He just linked the YouTube trailer. So
Oh, I've seen this movie. It's a mockumentary. 4 people attempt to gain access to the base and get chased down by aliens and also some camo dudes, which are the security forces around Area 51.
Do you remember
was
the movie
bad.
name or no?
I think it was just called Area 51.
yeah,
And finally, we have Billy saying Independence Day. So, yep. That was a great scene, great movie as well.
and of course there's that Roswell television show. There's that Paul movie, I think.
And if you ever went to a theater as a kid and you're in our age range, they had the Area 51 shooter.
Yeah, that was my creature feature. Sorry, yeah, that was my creature feature. I played that game so many times. I love that game, Area 51.
Oh, I stole that from you. I'm sorry.
Right. And then we also have Roswell, right? The show Roswell had it featured, I think,
Yeah.
too. So that was a good show. Okay, Billy's gonna call too, so we gotta get before we get our callers in. Any more times you guys have experienced Area 51? There's got to be a lot more than that. I just can't even think of any.
I mean,
I think the first time I saw it was like Unsolved Mysteries, talking about
Unsolved.
Area 51.
yeah, for sure. Any of the like History Channel things will always have like documentaries.
Unsolved
and stuff.
Mysteries is the goddamn best to this day.
I'm with Kimber. That's actually my first the interaction with it.
Nice.
It was the spookiest intro sound and music ever. Was the Unsolved Mysteries.
Great host, man.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. So do you want to talk about what we're doing next week before we get the callers, or you want to get the callers first?
Yeah, let's go ahead and warn them.
Oh, what's going on? Okay. So next week we have, if you guys watched, we were off for Thanksgiving last week, but I did the Wheel of Weird Spin and put it up on my YouTube channel, and Black Dog Omen won. So next week we're going to be doing the Black Dog Omen. So I can think of a great one for that one specifically. Then we do have another episode in 2 weeks where we got to spin the Wheel of Weird for that. So it's time to go to the Wheel of Weird. So here goes. Picking it up.
Where it stops, nobody knows.
So this is for the December 13th episode. So December 6th, we're doing the Black Dog. I never know where to turn this. And this is for December 13th episode.
You're getting sleepy.
Hellhound?
Hellhound.
So that's
Nice.
funny because Hellhound just won the poll today. And now it's going to be done on the December 13th episode.
I'll tell you, our Believe It or Not footage is just gonna be dogs.
You never know. Could find something good. But yeah, so
Like,
Hellhound was
it's a
actually just
dog.
one of the... It's going to be like a dog with glowing eyes and on fire.
2 different shades of glowing eyes.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. Maybe we'll come up with something good. We have 2 weeks for that, so it's going to be good. I can't wait to see the cryptic creation for that as well, because I know Janine... Yep. Everyone's gonna say that one. That's the one Kimber just mentioned in the chat. Supernatural. That's what everyone's been talking about. So yeah. So I guess you want to get Billy in here.
Billy can come in when
Actually, this poll was the last one we were doing for season 1. We'll talk about in next week, I guess, what we have in store for the rest of the season. We do have a little special thing for you guys at the end of the year.
Woo!
So stay tuned. So Billy, if you want to call in, whenever you want to call in, or do we need to drop the link?
I dropped the link, and he has access to come in whenever. So Billy is the most elusive cryptid at the moment.
Hellhound. I can't believe Hellhound won so fast. Well, at least Eric got out of doing Bloody Mary this year.
Yeah.
Did I see someone mention a cronut in the comments?
Yes, Delisha asks, has anyone ever eaten a cronut?
Yeah. Lots of them.
Yeah.
From the Pacific Northwest.
Is that what they're known for there? I don't know. I didn't
No,
know.
not really. But we get all the weird crap.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to do the rounds of plugs while we're waiting for Billy?
Sure.
Why don't you start?
Me or Justin?
You.
Okay. As you guys know me, I'm the Jersey Devil Cal. You can find me on Twitter at BaronJadejaVu. I have a lot. So last Monday we did the Gamer Grudge, so check that out. I also did a Gamer's Chair featuring Scott, aka Chewbacca Defense. So So there's a new episode of Gamer's Chair. Today we have encrypted. I always mention encrypted. So yeah. Tomorrow we have Get Psyched special. So 2-part special. The first one's gonna be tomorrow, and the next one's gonna be I think December 10th. Where the first part is gonna be talking the top 5s from the past 8 seasons of Psych. So we have like top 5 cameos, top 5 episodes, top 5 moments. So come join us for that. You can even call in if you want. If you get, you hit me up and let me know that you want to call in because we're pretty limited on time and we have a lot to go over. On Friday, I'll be releasing the new Flashpoints. And then on Monday, we have the Championship of Gamer Garage, which Tom is going to be on. So come check that out as well.
Oh, crap.
Oh, and I stream every day on my YouTube. So subscribe to the Kingslayer Network on YouTube because I do Skyrim streaming, and people really find it funny because I'm so bad at the game, and it's just fun.
You just like shooting people in the nuts.
I do, and I teabag out there.
It is the second head, so it's a headshot.
Yeah, headshot technically. But I shoot females too in the crotch, so I don't discriminate. And then whoever gets shot in the crotch gets teabagged afterwards because that's the channel rule according to all the people in the channel. Justin,
I'm sure you didn't set that rule. Find you.
You can find me on Twitter at JThuluPhoto. You can find me also on the Digital and Dice YouTube and podcast. We are doing currently our literal torture for our holiday contest. I have to say that the first one we recorded it's something special. It's something special. And that's me saying it, and I read those. Go ahead and check them out on YouTube. Tomorrow's topic we don't have for Digital and Dice because Turkey happened and Sleepy Bird gets us all. So yeah, find me on Twitter where I still don't know what I'm doing. Find me here and find me on Digital and Dice.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, definitely check out Digital and Dice if you haven't already. It should be listed right on our featured channels, right along with Kingslayer and a bunch of other of our friends. As far as me, yeah, I'm always here on Odd Shape channel. Definitely check out. We just did a Mormo Zone with Mormo himself, me and Kimber. So check that out. We did that out last night, talking about the magic being depicted in movie, like stage magic being depicted in media, as well as punk music. And Monday we did our Thanksgiving special. So if you haven't seen that yet, we talk about some of the best families to maybe hang out with on Thanksgiving, or some possible new Macy's Day floats. I'm going to try to get another Animal Crossing tomorrow, and the whole thing starts all over next week. So,
I get excited for Animal Crossing.
I know you do. Well, Mormo's mom really likes Animal Crossing. Apparently, he's going to watch the whole series we've done so far with his mom. So that's fun.
Nice.
It's always like me just commenting, like, do this, do that. And the voices, too, on this channel. So I guess we did screw ourselves over. Area 51 has given us technical difficulties because we can't get any callers in.
I told you.
We can't spread the word. Billy's having trouble. So, is it because Tom mentioned Tron?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to maintain it's the Area 51 talk. I think, honestly,
I think Gremlins are still here.
It could be the Gremlins, too. We've invited a lot of trouble.
We have.
Ours is the source, or all they flow to, the end of the river, right? It's where it flows to. All the trouble.
Just around the river bend.
I sang that song earlier today too. Isn't that funny? On the stream. That's so funny.
I was singing that in Justice League when he's tracing his S. I was like, just around the river bend.
So I guess we can
anyway.
But so remember, next week we got the Black Dog Omen, and then 2 weeks we got Hellhound, and then our special, sort of.
Maybe we should do a poll to see which one would win in a fight.
Of what?
Let's not encourage dog fighting. Never mind. I take that back.
I mean, a little bit of a teaser. The black dog's associated with the wild hunt, so I'm going to go with the black dog.
Wow. Anytime you got Odin on your side.
So should I bring up the end video?
All right, so that's us. That's it. We hope you had a great episode. This is the first one where all of us got to stay on the whole time. We didn't kick Justin off early.
Still here.
I'm working on a new logo for the show because it is no longer just Rip and the Jersey Devil. I am acknowledging it. I'm not just ignoring Justin not having a logo in there. So be on the lookout to see what that's going to be. I mean, it's probably going to have tentacles, but we'll get into that.
As all things
thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thank you. Have a great night.
Until then, end transmission.
End transmission.